Corey, you good?
All good.
See him whenever you're ready.
I guess, Jeanae, we'll start with the first quarter. Things went well. I thought you played well defensively. Second quarter, they got to the free throw line quite a bit, and shots weren't falling as rapidly. Was maybe inconsistency the biggest problem tonight?
I guess, yeah. We played super well in the first quarter, came out blazing, getting stops, pushing in transition, keeping that pace up, and then the rest of the three quarters, like we talked about in the locker room, just wasn't the same play, I guess. So yeah, it definitely was inconsistency, but I mean that's what it is in the Big Ten. You have to come and play 4 quarters. Every possession matters in the Big Ten. So.
And then Abbey, kind of going off of that, did you feel like after beating Illinois, the way you beat Northwestern, you can get a win tonight? This team maybe has kind of turned a corner a little bit, and then the way that the third quarter, I guess, kind of went there after the 3 to start the period, it seemed like it was kind of a step back maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it was just we just went looked into our scout and what we practiced. It's disheartening when you get wide open shots. We work so hard for those good shots and they just don't drop. But we just got to keep our head up and looking on the other end and fuel our offense through our defense. But as Jeanae said, we just got to hold it for 4 quarters.
Abbey's is simple, just not being able to shoot well the last 3 quarters, and if that's the case, did it affect other areas of your game tonight?
I mean, yeah. It's hard when you're taking, the whole team's taking great wide open looks and they're not dropping. That's that mental toughness, and I know myself, I was in my own head, and you get out of that, especially being a senior. But we only had 7 turnovers. So that's like a positive we can take out of it, but we just got to lock in on defense and get those stops, because I think in transition we're very hard to guard, and we actually scored a lot. So we just got to get stops, and they'll get us easy layups and hopefully make this.
Jeanae, you mentioned it, but the inability to get out and run like you did in the first quarter and like you did Wednesday, just how much did that maybe stifle what you guys wanted to do?
Just like Abbey said, we're really unguardable when we're in the open floor. So getting stops and letting our defense affect our offense is really what we're trying to buy into. And so like in the first quarter, that happened, and you see how the tables turned for us. But like I said, the next 3 quarters, we just didn't get too many stops. But I mean, putting the ball in the basket will help. But I believe in every last person on my team, and I know that no matter if they miss, I'm still gonna get them the basketball. I'll make the play for myself, whatever it takes.
Not that you guarded her a whole lot today, but just the impact that Markowski had on the game and the difficulty of keeping her off the boards tonight. How big of a challenge was that?
It was a huge challenge. I mean, she's a really good big in the Big Ten, so just trying our hardest, throwing different defenses at her to see whichever one works. But she played a great game today. She definitely was aggressive and tried to be the aggressor. So yeah, she's really good, but. We just have to be aggressive, and we just have to play harder.
Abbey pulled down 4 rebounds today, and then you also dove on the floor at one point there and got a pretty big steal. How much do you put into your hustling? Really, I mean, you're also a scorer, but how big of a part of your game is that?
It's pretty big. Being at this height, you got to be on the floor a lot. You're closer to the floor, so it's easy to get on there. But it's just something that you just learn through your juniors, and I feel like that's pretty a typical Aussie, just with all that grit. But yeah, it's just I've always done it, and I don't have a second thought of getting on that floor. Wake up with a few bruises, but I don't mind.
And then Jeanae, you had 7 assists after the first quarter. Seemed really open there, and then I mean obviously kind of trailed off. Probably a mix of shot making as well as kind of what you were seeing. But as a floor general, did things close down?
I mean, like you said, it just comes down to hitting shots. That was just the difference of the first quarter, I guess, and then the rest of the 3. When you're looking at it from being a floor general. But like I said, I'll come next game to Michigan State, I believe, and I'll give them the same looks and I'll pass them the ball. So I never, no matter if they make it or miss it, I'm right there to tell them, shoot the next one, shoot the next one. So yeah, I mean, being a floor general, it did tighten up a little bit, but we get those clean looks, we just got knocked down.